Yo guys, James Board here. Today we're back with another vlog, and this vlog I'm going to be taking you through my top tips to grow some WHAM legs. Now, probably the most common things that you guys are going to be searching for on YouTube is going to be your chest, your arms, all of these sorts of things. But if you're watching this video, it means at least you don't want to be skipping that leg day, or at least maybe you're not skipping leg day and you actually want to start making some proper progress. Now, first tip, we're going to head to the gym soon and obviously hit a leg session. I'm going to take you through my leg session, show you how I structure it, and kind of give you some tips along the way as well. But everything that I'm going to tell you won't work unless you follow this first tip, which is eating in a calorie surplus. So for those kind of following me at the minute, you'll know that I'm in a building phase, just kind of starting a building phase. I've had 2 big calorie increments over the last fortnight, so I'm starting to fill out a little bit. I'm starting to grow, so this is where now, like, I'm going into the gym, I know I can actually start building some good quality muscle. Over the past few months when I've been maintaining, I know I can't build muscle. If you are not in a calorie surplus, you can't build muscle, so you have to be in a calorie surplus. So we're going to make up our pre-workout meal now: chicken, rice, veggies and peanut butter. And Shane's brought a monster as well, so I know most of you watching, that won't be that big of a deal. Since leaving in Australia 5-6 months ago now, I've had maybe 2 of these, and they were both brought to me by Shane. So this is number 3, and it's the first proper one. So me and Kiana will be sharing that, because apparently I've got to share, I can't just have it myself. So I'll probably have that and then a coffee as well for a pre-workout. But pre-workout meal is going to go down. I'm going to have 350 grams of white rice, that's cooked weight, it's actually jasmine rice. I'm going to have 100 grams of chicken, I'm going to have 20 grams of peanut butter, and then I'm going to have 2 balls of spinach. You can come out. You don't have to hide. Oh, Kiana's got a bit of new ink yesterday. I actually got a bit of new ink as well. So I don't know if you will. Kind of. When Kiana was getting stuff done, I had like a little flick up here that I didn't like, so I got them to fill that in. So that's fresh. But we're going to make that up now, and then we're going to bounce to the gym and get started. So tip number 1, eating a calorie surplus. Tip of Kiana likes an energy drink out of a glass. Weirdo.
Exciting.
You lot in the Western world, you don't know how lucky you are to have these on tap.
No idea. This is why I started drinking coffee. Oh my god. Do you know what's mad? Because I don't even like the white ones at home because I have such a variety, whereas like that tastes like heaven in a glass.
Din Din's is ready, Kurt. You've got to put this in the vlog now. Scrum eater, everyone. Looks skinny. Mate down. Okay, so we're now at Naihan Gym. Exercise number 1 of both my leg rotations at the moment is a calf raise, purely based on the fact that if I leave it till the end, it just gets kind of tagged along. So if it's an exercise, if it's an area that you're trying to bring up, i.e. your calves, just do them first, so long as they're not going to take away from your compound lifts, like your big bang for your buck movement. So we're going to do 2 sets of this. First set, we're going to do a 2-point rest pause, and then the second set, I'm going to do a drop set with 5 reps with 5-second eccentrics, which you'll see in a sec. Okay guys, exercise number 2 is an adductor, or good girls. So we call them good girls because we're shutting our legs. Obviously the bad girls when you open your legs. Now we're going to place these towards the front end of the workout, purely based on the fact that if we can build some meaty adductors, we're gonna get that nice 3D effect to our legs. So, you know, it's one nice thing to grow the front of your legs out, but if you can get that 3D effect from growing your adductors, you're gonna have a much, much bigger leg. So these aren't gonna take away massively from our compounds, so we can place them here. If we were to do them at the end, they would be shit. You know, if you tag these on at the end, the amount of weight that you're gonna be able to lift comparably to now is going to be very minimal. So we place them at the start. We're gonna build some big adductors. So we're gonna do 2 sets on this. Like I said, we'll warm up first, and then we'll run into some hams and then some compounds. Okay guys, so next exercise is a hamstring curl. Now, I'm gonna pop the hamstring curl next purely just based on the fact that, once again, I'm trying to bring up my hammies. Now, for most of you out there, you are gonna be in the same position. It's very, very rare to see someone who has dominant hamstrings and obviously subpar quads. It's usually the other way around. I am a prime case of that. Got some good old quads, hams are coming in, but they are still lagging to some degree. So that's something that I'm massively trying to bring up at the minute. It's also not going to take away massively from my compound lifts. You'll find, like, by even doing a hamstring curl and potentially even a leg extension before your compounds, it's just going to get a bit of blood in there. You know, yes, it could potentially take away a little bit from them, but at the same time, it's also going to have an addition to it. So the hamstring curl is going to be next. We're going to run a seated hamstring curl. Once again, 2 sets. Might chuck some intensifiers in there as well, and then we'll start the fun stuff with the compounds. Yo guys, okay, so exercise number 4 is going to be a Smith machine squat. Now, you do not have to Smith machine squat. You can do any leg compound of choice here. So I'm opting for a Smith machine squat purely based on the fact that we haven't got much kit here. So in each one of my leg rotations, 1 leg rotation I'll run a barbell squat, 1 leg rotation I'll run a Smith machine squat here. The reason being, it's just going to give me 2 different variations of a compound. They do have a V squat here, but I really don't like it, so we're going to run Smith. And I've said before on Insta, it's like, this is one of the best bits of kit in the gym. You can run progression very easily on a Smith as opposed to a barbell, which kind of brings me on to the, you know, that question, like, do you need to barbell squat? Absolutely not. If you look at my twin brother, for example, you know, like, we're a very good study of this. He doesn't barbell squat, I do barbell squat, and arguably you could say his legs are probably even a little bit bigger than mine. So you don't need to barbell squat. You just need to find something for you that you can progress and that you get on well with. So for me, I get on well with squats, Sam doesn't. I squat, Sam doesn't. Both our legs grow. So just find things that work for you. Okay guys, so this brings me on to kind of tip number 2. So that first tip, obviously eating a calorie surplus. Second tip is to structure your workout in a way that suits you. So as you can see, I started with calves. I have lagging calves. I then went on to adductors, because we're trying to bring those up. It's not going to take away from our compounds. Went for a hamstring curl, once again trying to bring up my hammies, and now we're going into our best bang feedback movements, which is going to be my Smith machine squat, and we're going to do another compound afterwards, and then we'll finish with a leg extension. Now, if you're someone who just comes into the gym, especially on a leg day, if you don't have a plan, the chance of you executing everything properly is going to be very minimal. So put a plan in place and execute. You guys could smell these. So guys, with this, I'm gonna run 150 kilo. I'm gonna see if I can take it for 9. Last week I took 140 for 10. This is only my second week of having this in my rotation. The reason we'll run things repetitively week after week is you get very used to the movement patterns. Now, this is why, like, when I jump on something like this now, having not really done it for many weeks, I get a little bit nervous. It would be the same as if I was to, like, jump on a bench press now. I'm gonna be very incompetent at it compared to if I'd ran it in a split for like 4, 5, 6 weeks. So it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but we'll go 150 today, see if we can run it up and see where we can get this over the coming weeks. So guys, tip number 3. Obviously that was my set there. Like I said, last week I took 140 for 10. I just took 150 for, I believe, 11. So tip number 3 is progressively overload your lifts. Now, it's all good and well coming into the gym, like I said, winging it. If you have a structured plan, if you can run the same exercises in the same order, in the same rep ranges, every single week, you know exactly what you need to do to progress. I know what I did last week. I know what I have to do this week in order to progress, and that way I can ensure progression session to session. So tip number 3 is progressively overload your lifts. The goal needs to be to get very good and very strong at every single exercise in your program in the hypertrophy rep ranges. Okay guys, so tip number 4 is less is more. So this might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but my whole session today is 12 sets, and that's the whole session. I do 6 exercises, 2 sets per exercise. We're gonna do a load set and a back off set. The whole idea being is we know that if we can create a novel stimulus, so if we do something that we've never done in every single one of those sets, and we're fueling ourselves in that calorie surplus, which is tip number 1, from outside the gym, we know our body's going to create an adaptive response and grow. Now, what a lot of you might do is go into the gym, you think more volume equals more gain. So if you go in and you bury yourself in 20, 25 sets on your legs, the chances of you being able to actually progress for all those 25 sets are very slim. There's a lot more chance of you actually burying yourself to a point where you can't even recover and progress the following session. So start looking at each and every individual set as a chance to progress rather than just trying to batter yourself over a session. So pull back on your volume to a point where you can progress those lifts session to session. So like I said, 2 sets per exercise, a load set, a back off set. So we're working the 6 to 9 and the 10 to 15 rep range, and we'll progress those each week. So this is my first set on a leg press now. We're gonna go 10.5 plates per side, kind of. I mean, it's actually 8 plates per side and 425 kilos on top. Got a bit of PTSD from this because last week I loaded that up and it snapped off, so they've repaired it since then. But we're gonna give it a good run, see if we can take it for about 9 reps, and hopefully it won't break. Oh, fuck. I was too scared to take it for another. Exercise number 6 is going to be a leg extension. So, like I said, we started with those kind of isolation movements, moved on to some compounds, and now we're just going to finish off by just pumping a hell of a lot of blood into our quads. As I was saying before, literally just 2 sets per exercise. So I've just done a load set then. This will be my back off. So I'm going to do 10 to 15 with a drop set on that one, and then that will be the end of the workout, and then we'll wrap things up after that. I just kind of want us to like, yo guys, okay, so we're going to wrap up the leg day here. You've seen how I structure my workouts. I've given you 4 tips, and the 5th tip is purely just going to be to train with intensity. Now, I always say you can tell how hard someone trains by looking at their legs. Okay, I train hard. Shane doesn't train very hard, as you can tell. But if you actually want to grow some legs, 1, don't skip them, and 2, just train them with intensity. You know, to do a bit of a rundown of the tips, obviously eating that surplus, structure your workouts, progressively overload your lifts to get very good and very strong in those in each and every lift. Less is more, so don't overdo it with volume. And the last one is to train with intensity. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys can take away a little something and apply it to your leg training, or even just to your other training blocks. If you did like the video, you know, show Shane some love from his video and editing skills. Drop it a like, a comment, and of course guys, if you haven't already, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.